Howdy everybody, ArgonMatrix here. Welcome to episode 17 of, I was about to say The Binding of Isaac. I've been playing too much of that. This is Bloodborne. We're here in Cathedral Ward. Last time we had about 50,000-ish echoes, and you can see them down to 806. Which doesn't mean I lost them all or anything crazy like that. No, I actually went and spent them on a bunch of upgrades and stuff here. Hunter's Axe is at +5, Ludwig's Holy Blade is at +4. I actually went down to Old Yarnum to grind up some Bloodstone shards to make that happen. So now these are effectively, like, I think almost exactly the same damage. Because this is base 143 plus 68. This is base 140 plus 71. If you do the math there, I think it's identical. If I put some better stones and stuff, or I guess gems in the blade, then it might be a little bit more powerful, but I'm going to stick with the axe for now just because I'm more comfortable with it. Also got the repeating pistol up to +5, and I got my own body up to level 35. I increased my skill and arcane up to 15 each, just because I think that's probably where I need to get them just overall. Like, I shouldn't have to touch those again for the entire rest of the game if I have my setup all planned out. Like, I have the stats that I want all sort of planned out. I'm actually going to equip the old hunter bone because I can use that with 15 arcane now. Then let's go ahead and swap this. Oh gosh, I really should not have should have done this beforehand, I suppose, all this inventory management. We got pebbles here, and I think the rest of this will be fine. Alright, so there's a brief rundown, and let's move on with the main show of this episode. Last time I kind of teased it, that we need to go to the Grand Cathedral, and there are a couple little areas that we could go to before the Grand Cathedral if we really wanted to stretch it out as long as possible. But I think it's time, man. I think it's time to head up to that big, ominous, looming building in the distance and see what awaits us. So let me do a full clear sort of thing here. Oh, Jesus. I just like to clear all these guys out on my way up so that nothing likes to sneak up behind me. This guy is generally not a huge problem in terms of just, like, sneaking up behind me or whatever. But I should take him out all the same, I think. I don't know if I necessarily need to show the path to the Grand Cathedral. You've probably seen it a couple times now. But I might as well show it off, I think. Just so you can get sort of acquainted with the path that I will be taking to the Grand Cathedral in case I die in the Grand Cathedral, which is a distinct possibility. And you have to do this run effectively every single time that you die there, because there is no closer lantern or anything, so internalize that, if you will. These guys are not so bad, but there are a lot of them, and if you don't handle them with care, then they can swarm you pretty nastily, and they don't get staggered very easily. There is also this here, where we could summon Henriette, one of the old hunters, to help us, because in case it isn't obvious yet, there is going to be a boss fight upcoming in the Grand Cathedral. You don't think they could just present us with a place called the Grand Cathedral and not set a boss fight in there, right? I wouldn't think so. Alright, so I'm gonna wait, because these guys patrol, and they're gonna come over this way. And if I'm lucky, I'll be able to, like, separate them a little bit. Looks like this guy did come down a little faster than his compadre back there. So I should be able to handle him. Thankfully they, like, go down easily to one visceral attack. I'm actually gonna do this blood bullet thing just to save my quicksilver bullets a little bit. Not that I think they'll be extraordinarily useful in the upcoming boss fight, but quicksilver bullets are a limited resource, and I burn through them like butter in a soup kitchen or something. Alright. Careful here, you sneak up behind this guy. Probably don't necessarily need to do this, but I think it's just a safe option. Throw him off the edge. And then occasionally that'll trigger this big giant man down here to come back up after us. In which case I would hide back in that stairwell, but it looks like he's going to leave us alone today, which is fine by me. And I can take care of this guy as well, mostly just for the quicksilver bullets that he is, I believe, guaranteed to drop. Because he is a gun wielder. There we go. Moving on up here, just a couple more guys between us and the great door of the Grand Cathedral there. All carved in stone and waiting for us. Really got to handle these guys with care. You got to watch for their tails very closely. If you do, then they're not so bad, but if you let them get the jump on you, They do a load of damage with those freaking wooden crossbeams. Oh, I thought I had him. Oh, no, he's going now. Okay. Wasted some bullets there, but it's not a huge deal, I don't think. Alright. Give me some quicksilver bullets for the road. We do have 21 and 24 as our maximum capacities for vials and bullets, respectively, so hopefully that'll be enough. Let's load up here and open these doors. Apparently not as heavy as they look. Or maybe a little heavier, because I don't know. I'm having a bit of a tough time opening them there. This is more than a little ominous, I would say. These alien sort of deity things. I don't even know what to make of them. Watching over us. Nice sort of light being cast in through the upper windows there. And if you look closely, you might be able to see a person actually kneeling up at the altar. Just like all my first dates. Oh no, it's Vicar Amelia, and she's a scary ass dog lady now. Alright, Vicar Amelia here is probably one of the bigger stumbling blocks for people in terms of Bloodborne bosses. I know I've said that a couple times with like Father Gascoigne and Bloodstarved Beast, but this is a really sort of test of your skill up to this point. Especially because she's got such wide range, she can leap like across the entire cathedral. She has really good sort of recovery moves, and by recovery I don't mean healing necessarily. I just mean like she can hit you back at perfect with some pretty dastardly timing. But she also does have actual recovery moves in the forms of being able to restore HP. That won't come into play until a little later on, I'm pretty sure. She shouldn't heal for the first like half or so of this fight. But when she does, you have to be on your A game if you want to handle her. Oh god, I'm already screwing this up. Watch out for that attack, by the way, because it generally one-shots you. I had no delusions of grandeur that I was going to beat her on the first try, believe you me. But I was hoping to put up a bit more of a fight than that. Lord almighty. Alright, I cleared out all the riffraff up to the Grand Cathedral again here. We can see a fog wall waiting for us ahead, which we all know what that means. Time for take 2 against Vicar Amelia here. It's the Scourge of Infected Ones. Sure, why not? Let's travel in here. Gotta be careful around the start of the fight here, because I don't want to get too greedy trying to get my blood echoes back. Let's see if we can get her to jump over here. Oh no, she's going to go for her deadly attack again. Watch out, because it does have a shockwave that reaches kind of far. I just need to get off of my blood echoes for a second there. Where are they? They're there. Okay. Alright, now we can focus on the fight proper. Hopefully. Ideally. It's been a while since I fought her, so be prepared for maybe a little more fails still in this video. And don't be, if you're doing this fight yourself, by the way, don't be ashamed if you have to resort to calling in a friend or the old hunter, Henriette, to help you out here. This is a tough fight, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But if you keep your wits about you, and if you know some of the strategies about her as well, it's a big part of Bloodborne and Dark Souls type games in general, is just being able to learn the patterns and stuff. I've apparently forgotten a lot of them, because I am sucking at this. Also, some of her weaknesses. Since she is considered a beast, she is weak to fire and serrated weapons. So keep that in mind. Saw cleaver wielders will have a little bit easier time with this fight, I'm sure. And then fire paper is probably going to be put to good use. I'll probably end up using it at some point myself, honestly, in this fight. I don't want to burn it too early on here, just in case this isn't the fight that makes it all the way, you know? I've only got 6 of them up there. I think I might be able to buy more, but I'd rather not have to. Fun story about my first time facing Vicar Amelia, or my first several runs against her, I suppose, like my first time beating her, effectively. I faced off against her so many times, she like killed me so many times, I just kept coming back, killing the guys all in between, that I actually accumulated over 120,000 blood echoes just from doing that run over and over again. And eventually it did get to the point where, oh, I can get a visceral attack. Run up to her head. Nice, I love when that happens. It got to the point where she did actually kill me before I could retrieve those blood echoes, and that was 120,000 down the drain, and I think that's probably when I called it quits for the day on that Bloodborne session. Alright, she's getting into the second phase. She's becoming a little more tantrum-like. I'm going to go ahead and swing my fire paper in here and see if I can make some good use of it. Ow, okay. Get out of the corner here. This is bad. Alright, she's a little too far from me. That's good. Alright, she might start getting to the point where she's going to heal as well. She likes to back off pretty far away from you when she wants to heal. So keep that. This is her healing. She's got this sort of golden glowing light. You can stagger her out of it just like that. You can also use numbing mists if you want, which prevents healing. That's why I have them on my quick bar here, actually. I'm going to switch to them just in case. Problem is that you only have access to 6 up to this point in the game no matter what. So if you burn through all of them attempting to block her from healing, then you're kind of shit out of luck on that front. You just kind of have to do your best in terms of keeping on top of her. I don't think there's a limit to how many times she can heal either, so keep that in mind. It looks like I don't want to count my chickens yet, obviously, because she's still putting up a pretty good fight here. Oh, I think she's going to heal. Not on my watch! That'll last for a little while. Alright, get around behind her. Swing, swing. I think I'm missing. It's not great. Alright, she's going to jump, I think. Nope, she's not. She's going to go for the wide swing. We got her. Okay, not so bad. That was probably was more of a clumsy fight than I really wanted. I'm going to go ahead and do my standard, where's my bow? Hunter Salutation to Vicar Amelia. Oh, there we go. We got the gold pendant from that. I mean, it didn't seem like she was that beastly to begin with, as something happened to her with that gold pendant in the cutscene and everything, so we had to deal with it, but don't necessarily feel great about having to have done that. Let's check out the gold pendant really quick here. I think it's just in our standard items here. Vicar Amelia's pendant used to gain a blood gem. Pendant of Vicar Amelia, used to change into a blood gem which fortifies weapons. This pendant, passed down among vicars who head the healing church, is a reminder of the cautionary adage, words that will open the gates of Byrgenwerth. If you remember, there was a gate that we needed some sort of password for way back when, sort of not even too far from here. But before we can get to that, we got something here to deal with, the skull of some sickly beast. Let's check it out.
Master Willem, I've come to bid you farewell.
Oh, I know. You think now to betray me.
No, but you will never listen. I tell you, I will not forget our adage.
We are born of the blood, made men by the blood, undone by the blood. Our eyes are yet to open.
Fear the old blood. I must take my leave.
Fear it, Lawrence.
So fear the old blood. It seemed to be the adage of the scholars of Bergenworth, so hopefully that'll help us get past that one gate we were running up against. At any rate, I think it's a good time to head back to the Hunter's Dream. We've still got time in this video. That didn't take as long as I had anticipated, honestly. Wish I could have offered some sort of better strategy for dealing with the Vicar there. Really, it just comes down to your dodge game. Like, you have to be able to learn her tells, see what she's about to do. She has a lot of, like, scraping attacks where she just runs her claw across the ground in front of her and just kind of swipes like in a big old semicircle. What is this? The eye of a blood-drunk hunter beckons hunters to the hunter's nightmare. A deformed creature will whisk you away outside Odin Chapel. This is part of the DLC. This actually opens up the DLC section of the game, and it's triggered by beating Vicar Amelia. So let's check this out really quick. His pupils collapsed. Turn to mush, indicating the onset of the Scourge of Beasts. A hunter who goes drunk with blood is said to be taken by the nightmare, destined to wander forever, engaged in an endless hunt. It is a fate that no hunter can escape. That's cheery. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I do have 28,000 echoes here. I could spend it on some levels, maybe some fortifications. I'm going to go ahead and... actually, let's go ahead and fortify Ludwig's Holy Blade here up to +5. Because why not? And then I guess go ahead, and I was going to save him, but based on what I'm about to do next, might not be the best idea.
Welcome home, good hunter.
How are you doing?
I must have drifted off. What is it you desire?
See, she was here sleeping while I was doing that whole big fight. Goodness me. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and bump up my endurance a little bit. And what else should I bump up, do I think? Blood Tinge, maybe? Blood Tinge might be a good idea. One thing I probably should have shown off in that fight against Vicar Amelia was this new tool that I actually equipped at the start of this video, but I just never really talked about, is the old Hunter Bone, because that can actually really help, because like I said, it really comes down to how fast you can dodge and how well you can read her, and this definitely helps with that, because it uses 4 Quicksilver bullets, and it gives you like super intense, fast dodges here. It's really cool. It's a tactic of the hunters of old, as it were. So that's really neat if you can make good use of that. It actually lasts for a decent while. I don't think it scales or anything necessarily with Arcane, like the amount of time that you get with it. And it looks like we've run out. So if you have enough Quicksilver bullets, you can actually make pretty good use of that. And if you're not gun heavy, like I tend to be, then you can actually use it even better. So now, let's move on over to Cathedral Ward, sort of the hub world here, and see what we want to do next. Alright, we're back here in Cathedral Ward. Not much else to say right now. Oh. Hold on, our elderly friend down here is looking a little rougher than she was a second ago. I don't like her that much, but are you okay?
How did we ever get into this mess?
I think the night's getting on and it's starting to get to her. How are you doing, Ariana?
Oh, hello.
You still seem totally fine. No, I don't want any more of your blood. It's okay. I still haven't used the one that you gave me. Increases my stamina regeneration or whatever. Yeah, he still says all the same stuff. Okay. At any rate, so there is the potential for us to head to the DLC if we get whisked away by some creature outside of Odin Chapel here. Whatever that might mean. But I'm not going to do that just yet. What I am going to do... Oh. This guy's gone. You can actually look up in the sky now. It has gotten darker. There's no longer the orangish red light of sunset anywhere on the horizon. It's all just gray, blackish clouds. And you can see the moon, brighter than ever, hanging up in the sky. So the night has moved a little bit after beating Vicar Amelia. Whether that's a good or a bad thing remains to be seen, I suppose. So one thing I do want to show off really quick is if this guy's still over here. He is. You're much more ominous than ever now, mister. Alright, well I'm gonna take a chance on this guy. Because this might seem a little strange what I'm about to do here. I'm not gonna heal against him. I'm gonna step right up and... Oh god, I don't want to do it. It just seems so wrong. Alright. Do your worst. That may have seemed like the worst possible fight I've ever put up. But you'll understand momentarily. Welcome to Yahar Ghul, the unseen village. We did actually get a decent amount of insight, or at least one insight for that. And it seems we're in a jail cell after being snatched up by a snatcher, fittingly enough. So yeah, this is an area accessible only if you die to one of those guys, and if you're playing through this game for the first time, you will almost certainly, naturally find your way to this area. I know I did. I got slain by one of the snatchers, and I was just as surprised as you might have been if this is your first time seeing that. But I think we're gonna go ahead and call it there, and see what this unseen village is all about in the next episode. There's no lantern here, so we're stuck for the time being. And we'll be stuck again until next episode. So thank you everyone for watching. This is ArgonMatrix signing out. Thank you and good night.